Good morning, gang. Happy Friday morning, so be it as it is. Before we get started today, I wanted to say a heartfelt thank you to all of you who watched yesterday afternoon's video and have done what you could to help the people in Hawaii get clean drinking water. And I'll explain in a minute why that's gotten even more important. Yesterday afternoon, Alex over at Ida Hill got a hold of me and said that they wanted to send water purifiers to the folks in Hawaii because not only the folks in Lahaina are getting poisoned water, but all that smoke is going everywhere over the rest of the islands, and they're starting to worry about other problems there because the latest is now we're hearing that there's benzene in the water there, okay, as well as the arsenic. Thanks to you guys, not only did Alex and Ida Hill send two out to a couple of y'all, that family members here that are in Hawaii, but so far I have received the names of 10 other people in Hawaii, 10 other subscribers here, who through your generosity, others of you have directly sent them water purifiers as well. I will say this, if there is anybody else in Hawaii, anywhere in Hawaii, that needs one of these things, please email me your address. I've still got a list of people here on the channel who want to send water purifiers to you. And I have also had the rest of you cash app me so far to the tune of about $1,700 to buy generators to send these people. Okay. And as that all comes about, as I get more names, we will get more sent. The folks at Ida Hill have expedited all shipments of water purifiers to Hawaii. Okay, that is where they are going first. Any orders that they get to Hawaii are taking precedence over anything else, which is a good thing. Because like I said, not only is there arsenic in the water, there's also benzene in the water. Okay, big problem. Another big problem, and I'll link this article below, okay, this came out from yesterday from the folks over at Unjected. The potable water that the government is sending in is bad. People are getting sick from the government-supplied potable water. Fevers, chills, throwing up, etc., etc., etc. So the government is not providing any sort of relief that's good for the people. Now, you know, I told you the other day about the 12-mile perimeter that's been sent around Lahaina, and the media is being kept out. A lot of you have told me, and I've also heard from the media, that supplies are not getting into the area, that food's being donated, water's being donated, supplies, whatever, and FEMA and the Red Cross will not let people take the supplies into the affected area where everything's burned down, because there's still people there that won't leave their property. This is what they're trying to do, okay? They want everybody to leave the area, go outside that 12-mile perimeter, and then they can get supplies. Now, they're going to claim, oh, it's for your safety. We don't know if something's going to fall down or whatever, which is legitimate. That's a legitimate concern. But I trust the Biden administration, the Hawaiian government, certainly FEMA, about as far as I can piss in a tornado, okay? There's something that's being covered up, and everybody knows it. There's something going on in there that they don't want the media to see. They don't want the people to be around anything. So they can go in there now, and after all the devastation has been handled, they can go in and cover that up, clean that up a little bit, get rid of that evidence and say, oh, gee, you know what? It was just an electrical fire, which I find really interesting that they're trying to claim it was an electrical fire. except the reason that all the kids were home, who burned to death, over 111 of them right now, okay? The reason the kids were out was because there was a power outage. Kind of hard to have electricity spark a fire when the electricity ain't working, right? Just saying. Think about this. And somebody say, well, maybe it was out there and not out here. Just concerning. We've heard about direct energy weapons. You know, oh, it was a Chinese laser. We've also heard it was U.S., whatever. There's a cover-up going on. We all know it. The fact that they're sending in bad supplies for the people and the good supplies they're not letting get in, interesting. Now, like I said, for all this extra money that we have raised and anything else, I am working with a church group that is, this is how far we have a reach, guys, as a family. You guys may not realize this. One of y'all, her brother lives in Hawaii, and he is part of a church group that is boating in supplies. When I say boating in, mind you, this is going through the Pacific Ocean from one island to the next. Boating in supplies daily to the people, getting them wherever he can, as close as he can. I called him yesterday. We spoke briefly because cell phone service for him ain't great, okay? But I was able to talk to him for a couple of minutes. And he said any help we can get would be greatly appreciated. So that $1,700 or whatever it is, like I said, we're going to get more water purifiers. We're going to get more filters. Any of you guys that offer to send something, once I confirm the address, because like I said, it's hard to talk to him because of cell phone service. Once I get the address of where to send it, I will forward that on to y'all so we can get supplies to them. Okay, that's that game plan. Who's not sending anything? Well, that would be Joe, okay? Joe came up yesterday and said he's finally going to go to Hawaii, okay? When the media asked him, can you tell, quote, can you tell us about your Hawaii trip, sir? Joe's answer was, no, not now. How difficult is that answer to be? I guess his handlers didn't give him his speech he needed to give yet on what he's going to do. Because as far as Joe's concerned, he's going to Honolulu somewhere to find an ice cream store, okay? Now, this was the quote that he had earlier this week that completely fries my ass, right? I'm going to read this one to you. My wife, Jill, and I are going to travel to Hawaii as soon as we can, and that's what I've been talking to the governor about. I don't want to get in the way. I've been to too many disaster areas, but I want to make sure they've got everything they need, and I want to make sure we don't disrupt the ongoing recovery efforts. Really, Joe? I've been to too many disaster areas? Please, 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 tell me about your trip to East Palestine. Tell me about your trip to Mississippi and the tornadoes. Tell me about your trip to Kentucky and the tornadoes. Oh, that's right. You didn't go, okay? You didn't even authorize recovery and disaster assistance for most of them. They were left on their own, which is where people like us, you guys and me, get involved to help. Somebody made a comment yesterday on under the video about this is where Midwestern Christians save the day. And as my response to him was, I said, this is where your middle America Christians, we are the ones that made this country great. It is the coastal elites that are the ones that are trying to destroy the country. You know, you go anywhere in flyover states, and people are very helpful. I've told you guys the stories before about getting a flat tire in Boston and people driving down the road like this at me, like it's my fault I got a flat tire, okay? I also told you the story about being broke down in Salt Lake City, and within 5 minutes, I had 5 people stop to see if they could help. That's the difference between middle America, if you will, and coastal elites. Now, by no means am I saying that everybody in Boston is a complete prick, and by no means am I saying that everybody in Salt Lake City is a saint. I'm not saying that, okay? But the overwhelming majority, that was my personal experience of this. And it's, I don't want to say a stereotype, but it fits perfectly with the impression that we get, okay? Now, if anybody doesn't think that this is some sort of underhanded plan to take out Lahaina, to take out a Hawaiian island, to turn it into a 15-minute city, to push Larry Ellison's idea for his island into even bigger, to take Josh Green and say, you know, the state's going to take over and we're going to build workers' houses, okay? In other words, gulags, okay? Anybody know what a Khrushchevsky is in the Soviet Union, okay? Those were the housing units, the apartment buildings that were built under Khrushchev, okay? That's what they're talking about. Here, we're going to build a bunch of houses for you, little cheap-ass apartments that you can live in. Your overlord will live on the castle on the hill, and y'all can work the pineapple farms, the pineapple plantation that's all on my property. That's what's going on. They don't want you to believe that. We all keep talking about it. I mean, most of society, no matter what country you're in, we all keep talking about it. And the media and the politicians keep swinging back and spitting out, we're just trying to help. Put your damn money where your mouth is, because sending poisoned water is helpful? Cool. Covering up your crimes? Cool. That ain't helping the people. I want you to watch something real quick. This came out this week from a German member of European Parliament. This is her quotes. This is her speech. I want you to listen.
This whole COVID madness, this so-called pandemic, it was just a test balloon, a gigantic test balloon. Well, for what, you ask? Well, to see how far they could go, to see what exactly they would have to do to get free individuals in a free and democratic society to consent to being forced into compliance. That's what they were trying to establish. That's what they were trying to figure out. And they have figured it out. Trust me, they are much smarter now. The goal ultimately is to transform our free and democratic societies, into totalitarian societies. Their goal is to strip each and every one of us of our fundamental rights of freedom, democracy, the rule of law. They want to get rid of all of this. This whole COVID thing had never anything to do with public health. It never had anything to do with breaking waves. It always had to do with breaking people in order to make us a part of a mindless, malleable mass, which they can totally control, and we will be completely dependent upon this globalitarian elite. So I'm really imploring the people and all the peoples around the world, for God's sake, stop giving your democratically elected governments the benefit of the doubt. They are not deserving of that. They are not. Stop rationalizing whatever your government is doing. Stop rationalizing and come up with some good intentions. They have no good intentions. Never. As I said before, in the entire history of mankind, there has never been a political elite concerned about the well-being of regular people. And it isn't any different now. Why should it? Stop giving them the benefit of the doubt. Because I can tell you, you cannot comply your way out of a tyranny. It is impossible. Trying to do so, you will only feed a gigantic alligator in the hopes of being eaten last. But guess what? Your turn will come, and then you will be the one swallowed up. I also have to ask the people, end your silence. Speak up. For God's sake, stop complying. Start rebelling. They're out to get you if you do not resist.
Miss Anderson is German, liberal Germany. She is a member of European Parliament, a politician. She walks and talks this every day. She rubs elbows with all these globalists, egocentrical elitists every day. And this is what she's saying. She's not a Trumpist. She's not a far-right Republican. She's from Germany. And this is what she's saying. She gets it. She's telling you the truth. You know, you are going to be the last one eaten by the alligator. May not be the first one, but you'll be the last one. And like she said, it's time for us to rebel. It's time for us to fight back. We are seeing that the political elites, the governments of the world, their only ambition is to destroy us, to destroy our will, to destroy our freedom, to destroy any sense of normalcy and life that we have. In their opinion, our only place on this earth, our only reason for being here, is to serve them. Bullshit. I don't serve anybody except the man upstairs. That is it. I'm not loyal to Donald Trump. I'm not loyal to Joe Biden. I'm not loyal to any mortal man. Period. And I ain't taking orders from anybody. Ask Mrs. P how well I do that. Okay. We are not, the government is our enemy at this point. And I know somebody's going to go, oh my God, you said that, the FBI is going to come knocking on your door. Fine. You know what? That's the damn truth. Tell me how much Joe's helping. Poison water? Won't let the supplies get in? Let's look how well previous relief efforts go. Ask Hillary Clinton where all that money for Haiti went. Didn't go to the Haitians. Came out of the American public's pocket, went right into Hillary's pocket. Never made it to the Haitians. You know. Let's look at all the money that's donated to the Red Cross or the Christian Children's Fund or anything like this. And these salaries, these 7-figure salaries of people that work for these charities. And, you know, because we've really solved all those billions of dollars, that's charitable money that's been donated, all those billions of dollars have really changed the food security in Ethiopia, hasn't it? Okay. This is it. We cannot count on our government. We should be able to. Our government should be there for one purpose only, to protect and take care of the American public. Not to feed us, not to give us free phones, not to welcome illegals with open arms. The government originally was set up to protect the United States. Their job was to secure the borders, at the time, keep the British and the French out. Okay, that was it. Now they get into all this other crap. The only government that we should abide by is the one of the people, for the people, by the people. Notice nowhere in that sentence is the word of the political elites. We're on our own, guys. It's up to us. Y'all, proved that yesterday that we are strong when we stick together. Very strong. We help each other. We as individuals, as little peons in the United States, are the ones that are doing the job that our government should be doing. We're the ones taking the money out of our paychecks and helping other people, even though the government does a great job of taking money out of our paychecks and doesn't help other people. You know, the reason Joe hasn't sent any supplies to Hawaii yet, he's still working on negotiating with Josh Green, the 10% to the big guy. Okay, we got to remember that. You know, we have a corrupt criminal organization in here. But when you have issues like this, where the government utterly fails the people, when you have politicians around the world saying, don't trust your government, my question to you is, why the hell are you still doing it? Pinball out.